Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. This is the Sivga Robin SV021, and these are my Honest Audiophile impressions. I want to thank HifiGo for providing the Sivga SV021 Robin for review. Do greatly appreciate it. HifiGo, you rock. Alright, so the SV021 from Sivga. This is a $150 headphone. It has a 50mm dynamic driver. It has 32 ohms of impedance, 105 decibels of sensitivity, and it's available on HifiGo for $150. Comes in this very simple unboxing. We're not going to open it. It's just basically on the inside. You get a 1/4-inch adapter, a little bag that says Sivga on it. Didn't use it. You get your cable, which terminates into a 3.5 along with the 1/4-inch adapter, and then 2.5mm inputs. They are colored, really hard to see here. You got a red for right and green for, I think it's green, kind of looks green, might be blue for the left. And then of course you get your headphones. Let's talk about this cable a little bit more. You have a metal split, very nice build. I have no complaints about that. The only issue that I have, why is it so long? It's 10 foot long. These things are super easy to drive, and they didn't include a shorter cable. I would have liked to see a shorter cable, something 5 foot, maybe 4.5 foot, something like that. Not this huge long thing, a little too long. All right, headphones. All right, so you can get them in 2 different colors, lighter wood or darker wood, and has an okay build on it. It's not anything special, but again, we're talking about a $150 headphone here. You have enough cushioning up top so that it's not too thick and bulky or too thin. It is a little bit on the loose side. Clamp force is a little, and then it's all metal, which is a nice touch. You have your connections here, and the rods and the yokes are all metal. But they did forget one thing, and I don't understand why. It doesn't swivel at all. Now you get a little rotation here in the cups, but you don't get any real wiggle as far as for your positioning on your head. They will fit pretty much any size of head. You can expand these things out to be massively huge or for small, and I actually use them on the first click. There are R and L on the headbands. Pop them on your head. They're nice and soft, really comfortable, extremely light. I have no issues with comfort with these other than they just don't swivel. So if you don't have them positioned quite right, you will lose a lot of seal, which affects bass and treble. You can get 4 knuckles in that ear cup. It is rather large. I have no problems whatsoever getting my ears to fit in there. Overall build quality looks nice, feels good, doesn't feel like it's going to break anytime soon, and you don't get a lot of noise from them. And also, they're alright looking. So, isolation of outside noises. Yeah, don't expect much from these. They don't do a very good job. You're probably looking at about 50% at the most of outside noises blocked. And they are just kind of mediocre in that, especially for closed back. Kind of surprised me at how much lacking they are in that area. Gear I used to listen to the Sivga SV021s. I listened to them all on my desktop setups. The Mytek Liberty DAC 2, Head Amp GSX Mini, the Drop 1 Linear, Aueze Deckard, and various other things that are in for review currently, and it sounded all right. Wasn't the greatest on desktop. Kind of surprised me. I was kind of like, yeah, I'm all right. Going to DAPs, I use Sony NW1A, A105, the Heidi's AP80 Pro, and my impressions vastly improved. It went to, these are all right. Then I went to dongles. And I used them off of my phone going into a dongle. And I was like, okay, these are, they're all right too. Wow, these aren't bad. I actually kind of like them. And so These are for the portables, dongles especially. I found that the Hifi FC4, Hifi FC3, and the periodic audio rhodium were my favorites. The other stuff was kind of like, yeah, we're all right. And I was really surprised. Truly, truly surprised. How do the Sivga SV021s sound? I have to admit it. These are one of the strangest, oddest. I really shouldn't be listening to these. These do so many things wrong in so many ways, but they're kind of pleasant type of headphone. Bass. The bass is kind of bloated. It's a little thick, and it's a little bit just lackluster in technicalities, but it's fun. It's a little rolled off in the sub bass. Do wish I had a little bit more rumble and grumble down low. And the mid bass and upper bass are elevated. It has nice punch. It has nice kind of slam to things, but at the same time, it's too elevated and way too much bloat in there. But it's just a fun can. I have to keep telling myself $150, $150. And detail retrieval is all right. Resolution, it's all right. Tone, yeah, not so good. It's not natural. And accurate, it's all right. Timbre, yeah, again, it's not a natural sound, but it's a fun sound, and it's engaging. And for whatever reason, I don't mind it. Mids. Mids are unbalanced. Mids are uncohesive. They're elevated in the uppers, recessed in the mains, and a little bit bloated in the lower. But they're fun. I find that they have a good amount of body to them, even though they do take a step back and the bass and treble kind of are more the focus. The mids are not in a concave. They're not in like overpowered, so to speak, but they do take a back seat. And I find that, again, they're not natural. They're not accurate. Timbre's off a little bit on instruments. And they just have this pleasantness about them. It's weird. Like, I know that the upper mids are elevated, and yes, they can get shouty. Yes, they do portray in an aggressive manner, and yes, there are moments of sibilance that are just super fatiguing, but at the same time, other songs come along and you're like, this isn't bad. I actually don't mind this. It's like strange. Instruments do sound a little uneven, but for the most part, I really don't mind them. It's head scratching. Then the treble. Lower treble is elevated, and in fact, it's just kind of peaky all the way the rest of the way. It's not the most even treble. Yes, it has got some hotness to it. Yes, it does have aggression to it. But at the same time, on the right songs, it's pleasant. You have good air, and it's overall, it's not bad sounding in the treble. It's just, again, not natural in its tone. Timbre's a little off, and detail retrieval and resolution, but overall, I find that the bass, the mids, and the treble, they just do this thing. I can't explain why I like it. I don't understand it myself, but at the same time, it's like, I know I'm not supposed to like these, but I do. They're fun and engaging, but yet not even remotely close to what I normally like. Soundstage. Soundstage is fairly wide. They do kind of do the tendency of always trying to stretch things. They have okay clarity and separation of instruments. Depth is all right. It's not the best, but things don't really get muddled up badly on busier tracks. And then the overall imaging is good. Things move around the stage. It's not super precise and accurate, but it is in this neighborhood, but it's a small neighborhood, so it's kind of, almost there. And I find that overall, the SV021 is just this headphone that is confusing fun. I don't get it. $150. What other headphone can you get for $150? The Rode NTH100. Now, the Rode NTH100 built way better. Feels more sturdy in the hands. It is plastic and metal, but it looks nice. Not as cool as the Sivga with wood, but overall I find that the pads are a little more comfy and it sits on my head proper. I have no issues whatsoever with comfort with the Rode. I find that sound-wise, the Rodes just absolutely beat the pants off of the Sivga when I'm looking for what the honest audiophile is seeking. More natural, more accurate timbre, better details, better resolution throughout, a more accurate soundstage, not as wide, but more accurate and true, and it just has naturalism and sounds correct. Everything in my brain says the Rode NTH 100s are the best headphone that you can get for $150. But something kind of draws me at times to the Sivga and goes, but I don't need all that accuracy. I don't need all that naturalism. I don't need all that realism. I just want something fun and something I can chuck on my head and do other things around the house and I'm not getting into critical mode. And that's the Sivga SV021s. If you just want a headphone to putter around the office or at home with and not really care about sound quality, accuracy, naturalism, and all that kind of stuff, SV021s. But if you're looking for a headphone that is really, honestly, the best one at $150, Rode NTH 100s. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on screen, subscription links, notification bells. If you haven't already, please check those off then. Don't forget to check out the links down below. There's all kinds of information regarding tier lists and music recommendations and how you can contact the channel, follow the channel, support the channel. All that kind of stuff is down below. Don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video. And don't forget to enjoy the music and that honesty is the best policy.